Thank you. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. So yeah, that first set of tunes that we just played was one of the original material pieces that we've been introducing, and it does not yet have a name, and we're really bad at naming stuff. So we appreciate all naming suggestions. We take naming suggestions. You can come up to us after the show and give them to us, or just like yell them out at any point in the show. If it comes to mind, just go ahead. So yeah, now we'll play some more original tunes. These do have a name. The first one I wrote, it's called Monty's Jig, and it was written for a corgi that came wandering into our campsite at a music camp at like 1 a.m., and his name was Monty, and he was a fat little corgi, and we looked at his name tag, and the first thing that we saw was rabies. But turns out he was actually vaccinated for rabies, so we were all good. Monty did not have rabies. And you'll tell a story to the second tune.
The second tune is one that I wrote. It's called The Queen's Jig, and the name is not as fun as a fat little corgi wandering into the campsite. It's really just written. I was in a band when I was like very small child, and because small children want to do the weirdest things ever, we decided that as a band we wanted to compose a set of tunes called the chess set, and have each tune named after a piece on the board. This never ended up being completed, but I was the first to write a tune for it, and I'm like, why don't I just take the best piece? I'll take the Queen's Jig. So that's the story behind that tune. And then the last one is just an Irish slip. What is it? Slide. It's a slide called Hare in the Corn.
Thank you. So, I need to put rosin on my bow, but the next thing that we're going to play is the first track off of our first album that we made, almost 2 years ago, I think. That's interesting. Shoulder rest just came off. But yeah, so it's just a set of 2 of our favorite Irish tunes put together, Tuttle's Reel and the New Custom House. I learned these a while ago, but they're some of my favorite tunes to play. The challenges of being a fiddle player. Shoulder rest is always bound to fall off at some point. Okay. We're all good. All right. Tuttle's Reel on the New Custom House. Thank you. All right, so for this next one, Dante is going to get a different instrument out. It's right over there. It's the bowron. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the bowron. Yes, several. Congratulations. It's a great instrument. And it's, first of all, it is not spelled phonetically at all. It's pronounced bowron, but it is spelled B-O-D-H-R-A-N because it is Irish, which is awesome because in Gaelic, stuff is not spelled phonetically to English. But yeah, it's a very common instrument in Irish music. And we're going to play a classic tune that we haven't played for a while, Dinky's Reel. All right, so yeah, next we're going to play more Irish tunes because Irish tunes are awesome. We're going to play two jigs, the Lilting Banshee and Frathers, and we'd like to dedicate this next set to our older brother, Zach, because it's his birthday today. And he's in Arizona in college studying mechanical engineering. But yeah, he's turning 22 today, so happy birthday, Zach. Stay hydrated, kids. Ready? All right.
Thank you.
So now is the portion of the show where we open up the Q&A section. So if you happen to have any questions, you can just like yell them out, and we might be able to answer them for you. And if we can't, we can Google an answer for you after the show. So yeah, any questions? While you think, we'll play some more music. So yeah, these are two tunes. The first one is Promenade à Monaco, which was written by Andre Brunet, who's a great fiddler from Canada. And the second one is a really common tune that has like thousands of names. So I don't know which one to pick. What do you usually call it?
Whatever. We can call it Pachelbel's Frolics.
Okay. Today we'll call it Pachelbel's Frolics. Next time you see us, we'll call it something different probably. So, I just realized two things. One, I think this is the furthest I've gotten in one of our shows for a while, actually staying on the set list. Because usually I alter the set list in the middle of the show. Because usually I don't write a long enough one, but this time I actually did write a long enough set list, I think. I'm actually sticking to it, which is a surprise. And I noticed that I put 2 tunes back-to-back that have 1 million titles, because the next one that we're going to play, it also has a lot of them. Usually we go with Billy O'Rourke as the boy, but the other common one is Poor Nancy Died, which is much more tragic. So we try to avoid that one. And then we're going to follow it with a Scottish tune called 250 to Vigo, and one of my tunes called Butler Cove. That is a great question. We are brothers. So, yeah, we've known each other for a little bit. Yeah, so, I don't know if we've introduced ourselves yet. That's Dante, I'm Eros, Dante and Eros Faulk. And Dante is now going to play another one on the bowron. Yeah, so the next tune that we're going to play, it's called Johnny O'Leary's Jig. And it was written by a fiddle player named Johnny O'Leary. And so just named it Johnny O'Leary's Jig. Very simple naming. Which reminds me, we're still open to name suggestions. We're going to play some stuff later that still doesn't have a name. So, but yeah, we're trying to be a little more inventive than just using our names. But I guess that's a possibility. So yeah, tune is called Johnny O'Leary's. And yeah. All right, so if you haven't figured out already, traditional Irish music is very dance-friendly music. So yeah, we already have one very enthusiastic dance audience participant, and we welcome more. Yeah. So yeah, you are all welcome to dance. That's why this kind of music exists, is for dancing. What's next on the set list? So yeah, we'll play another set of 3 tunes that are great for dancing. The first one is a march from the north of Ireland called the Bulls March. Second one is called John something. I forgot his last name. It's John someone. Hopefully I'll remember his name by the end of the show. And then the last one is a Scottish tune called Lexie McCaskill. Thank you. So, good news. I remembered the name of the tune that I couldn't remember. It's John Brosnan's. So, got that out of the way. I remembered that. John Brosnan's. Yeah. Q&A section of the show is still open, by the way. Let's see if I can read this out. So Dante plays cello and bowron, and then I play fiddle and guitar as well. Oh, I thought I said what else? Where else? Oh, yeah. So yeah, we play here pretty much every month, and then now that it is farmers market season, we'll be playing at the farmers market a lot. We play there a lot on the weekends, so yeah, you can come find us there. Also, the Northwest Folklife Festival up in Seattle will be there. I'm trying to remember the date. It's Sunday, whatever that Sunday is. I think it's the 26th at like 2:30. I think of May. Yeah. Thanks. It's good to specify. Yeah, 26th of May. We'll be there. And yeah, so yeah, you can find. We have some other gigs. I think they're on our website, which is danteanderos.com. Easy to remember if you need the spelling. It's up here. So yeah, we'll play the. Let me fix this a little bit. It's too low. There we go. So yeah, we'll play one of our favorite tunes, which is the last tune on our CD, which is up here for sale. It's called The Star of Munster. Thank you. Okay. So now Eros is going to tune his fiddle to a cross tuning. So generally the fiddles and the cello are just tuned in fifths. So it's just every note is a fifth, every string is a fifth higher than the last one, 5 notes higher. So now he's doing something completely different and tuning it to have the bottom strings be the same tones as the top strings but an octave down. So it effectively makes the whole fiddle really ringy, and it involves tuning the strings tighter than they're supposed to be, but it's okay.
I'm not going to try to pretend and say what tunes we're going to play, because the last time I did this, I just picked different tunes that we weren't playing. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him announce the tunes once everything's in tune. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to play some really ringy cross A stuff, which is what the tuning's called.
So yeah, last time we played here, I wrote our set list way too short, and we had to improvise material for like 20 minutes. This time I wrote it too long, so I had to skip 2 things. So yeah, we're going cross A, and this is a tune that we wrote probably a couple weeks ago. It still doesn't have a name, just says cross A on the set list. But it's kind of an old-timey vibe tune. And yeah, I think this is the first time we've played it in front of people, so we'll see how this goes. Have your A.
So we'll play one more for you guys now, and I'd just like to take the friendly reminder to say that we still have CDs for sale up here. So if you want to take any piece of us home, feel free. You can buy a CD up here. That'd be awesome. We'd greatly appreciate it. And if you are to buy a CD, you keep in mind you can feed one teenage musician for an entire hour. So that would be greatly appreciated. We like to eat, so thank you very much.
And yeah, you can also, another plus of the CDs, it has the spelling of our names, which, so yeah, it's useful to have. And our website is danteanderos.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook just as Dante and Eros Faulk. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I've had a great time playing for you. We'll play one more set of tunes, the Unst Bridal March, O'Sullivan's March, and Hangman's Reel.
Thank you.